Hi everybody, my name is Lucas from Local Search. What we're going to be discussing is just some basic terminology that we use within Local Search, as well as some SEO terminology as well. This will help you to communicate with your clients, and it'll help you communicate with other departments within Local Search when building the website. First, we have two different platforms that we can build our websites in. This is one of our Doodle websites, and this is one of our WordPress websites. At point of sale, it will come into Salesforce, and it will specify which website platform it will be built in and how many pages that's associated with that website product. To start off with, we have our header. Within the header, we generally have the logo, we have the navigation links, and we always should be having a call to action as well. Up here, we have our top header. Not all of our websites have top headers, but usually we have our social links, we have an address, an email address, and we can also have a phone number up here as well. Moving down a little bit, we have our hero image. Hero images are usually the first thing that opens up when you click on a website. This is used to capture the audience's attention, so it needs to be high quality and it looks good for the user. Within the hero image, we have a couple of different things. We have our H1 tag, which we'll talk about later. We also have a call to action, and we also have a quick contact form, which the client has requested. Scrolling down, you can see that we have some body of text, we have some images, and these are what's known as modules. These modules will always link through to another page within the website. As an example, this call to action here will click through to the security cameras and CCTV page. You can also navigate to that particular page using the navigation menu up here. We also have internal linking. All of our websites we do internal linking for. This helps with user navigation, and also Google really likes this kind of thing because it helps users navigate around the website and will increase our clients' visibility on Google. Clicking on these internal links will take you through to that corresponding page. As you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that it'll take you to the access control and monitoring page. This is something we do for all of our clients as an additional bonus in their website build. Scrolling down, we have our footer. Normally within the footer, you have a call to action, you have the navigation links, and you also have the contact information as well as the hours of operation. When we are talking about our links, we often refer to this as our sitemap. There is a couple of different ways we can do this. If we look at this site, for example, this is using a combination of anchor links and child pages. Even though they look the same in the header, they function in different ways. As an example, if we were to click on this anchor link for dentist area, it'll take you to a particular anchor point on that page. If I was to click on the rest of these anchor links, it would take you to that corresponding anchor point on that page. When building your sitemap, you just need to specify what you want the anchor link to be called and a little bit of content about each of the anchor links. This is only classified as one page when building your sitemap. Alternatively, these are what's known as child pages. When clicking on these child pages, it'll bring up a whole new page with individual content, individual headings, and it'll be a new URL link up in the top. Along with our anchor links and child pages, we also have our parent pages. Parent pages sit up here in the navigation bar, and we can also use placeholders as well. Placeholders will also sit in the navigation bar, but is not an actual page. The only purpose of a placeholder is to hold the drop-down menu below. So if I was to click on this Our Locations link, nothing would actually happen because its only reason is to pull up this drop-down below, which will allow me to click on these location pages below. Along with our hero image, we also have what we call banner images. If we were to pull up one of these subpages, this is what's known as a banner image. When we're talking about image resolution and format, typically we always use JPEG format. However, for a logo, we can also use PNG format. When we're talking about resolution, resolution means how high quality or low quality the image is. Typically, if the image is spanning the entire width of the website, it needs to be quite high resolution, normally about 800 pixels wide. If we're talking about a photo that's not as big, like this for example, this only needs to be around 800 pixels wide. With all of our websites, we try to help our client as much as possible by creating call to actions, often referred to as CTA. Call to actions will prompt the user to take an action either by when you click, it calls a number, usually on mobile, or it can take you through to the contact page. So if I was to click on this, it'll bring up the ability to ring, or it'll bring up an ability to take us to the contact page. When we're designing our websites, it is important to verify which logo the client will be using. Normally, all of our websites will replicate the colors within the logo for the purposes of consistency and branding. So it is very important to confirm the logo and the colors when building our websites. As I mentioned before, within most hero images, there will be a H1. A H1 is a code or a tag that tells Google that is the main heading that's corresponding with that website. So if we were to try to rank this website for air conditioning in Cairns, that would typically be the H1 tag. Going down, we have other headings, normally known as H2 or H3 tags. So this would be a H2 tag here. And if we scroll down, these are probably H3 tags. And these are probably H3 or H4 tags. This is all important for Google to understand what the website is about. So when we're talking about H1 tags, it is generally used at the top of the website because Google likes it when it's higher on the page rather than down below. Another SEO element that we should be aware of is the title tag. A title tag is another ranking factor for Google and is usually seen at the top of the browser here. It is also shown in the search engine results page here. Typically, the H1 tag and the title tag need to be similar, otherwise it will send Google mixed messages and the website probably won't rank for either. Down below in the search engine, we have the meta description. This does not have a direct impact on SEO, but will help click-through rate depending on what's in the meta description. Stuff like this, call to actions, is really powerful because it's prompting the user to take an action. Some of our clients might be doing an SEO campaign as well. A part of an SEO campaign is creating blogs. Google loves updated content, so this is a service that we provide for our SEO clients. Typically, these are also known as posts, so these bring up individual pages trying to target specific keywords, and it's got quite a lot of content, so that's the stuff that Google really loves when ranking a website. If your client does not have an SEO package, they can still have a blog. However, we won't write the blog for them, but they are welcome to send us a blog and we can upload it on their behalf. Another powerful technique for SEO is having location pages. Location pages work slightly differently in the fact that they are targeting specific locations. As you can see, most of the website is targeting Cairns. However, this particular location page is targeting Port Douglas. This will allow your client to rank in two different locations. Location pages should always have a call to action, content, and links going through to each of the service pages. With H1 tags, it is very important that we only target one service and one location per H1 tag. This is a good H1 tag because we just have the one service and the one location. Keep the H1 simple and using natural language. If this were air conditioning and electrical in Cairns, that would be considered a bad H1 tag because it's trying to target two competitive search terms and the site probably wouldn't rank for either. When we're creating our sitemap, this is normally done in conjunction with the client regarding what pages they want. General rule is that we don't have more than 7 parent pages up in the navigation. If there were any more than this, the navigation might look too cluttered and would not be good for the user as they may feel overwhelmed about where to go to. If we look at another website as an example, this is a good example because the header or the navigation bar is nice and clean and user-friendly. However, there is a lot of child pages under this. So ideally, we want to separate these services on this site, as an example, into different child pages that relates to that category. This is also using what we call placeholders, in that if you were to click on these particular pages, nothing would happen. Its sole purpose is to bring up the drop-down menu, which will then take you to a specific child page. When communicating with your client, it is important that we educate the client on best practice. So if the client has requested that they have 2 locations in this H1 tag, for example, it is up to us to tell the client that that is not a good idea and educate them on the reasons why. Same in this situation, if the client wanted any more navigation links in the header, it would be up to us to inform them that it is not a good idea because it may affect user navigation and the user interface.